Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. This will be part 3 of Northwest UFO Chasers radio broadcast. So buckle in, get ready, and stay tuned. We're in for some really, really exciting information. This is brought to you by Gregory M. Bowles, author, publisher, writer. Okay, where we left off last time was how are the aliens traveling? Now, I have to get you again to conceptualize that they are over a long period of time genetically modifying the race of man. And that's the key conceptualization that I'm trying to get you to grasp. These beings are ethereal in nature, and yes, we are related to them. We are also at our most advanced stage of human development, will be able to move into the ethereal realms or the fifth dimension, because at that point we will basically understand scientifically how to modify molecular matter. Now, the reason it's so important to learn to modify molecular matter is to understand that in what Albert Einstein talked about in his theories of relativity and the warping of space, he basically always started with those 4 principles, which is gravity, electromagnetism, and the atomic forces. Now, in understanding how the aliens space travel, we in our future will also be able to space travel. And okay, so now if we go basically to the main website at northwestufochasers.com, you'll see that there are menu selection links on the left-hand side. And up on the top it says aliens. And if you drop that down, there's a video book there by Gregory M. Bowles. And in there, the title of the book is Did God Genetically Modify Us During Creation? And the research analysis that I am basically going to explain during these radio broadcasts is one that starts back 4.55 billion years in the age of the universe. And the reason I'm going back that far is, again, it has to do with these quantum physics properties that basically are being crunched. And within quantum physics are calculations for time displacement. And within the time displacement, it shows the smallest particles that we know of basically dissolving and splitting. And they're moving, and they're active, and they're not connected, and they're bouncing all over the place. Well, this type of state moves up in nature to the astrophysical properties, if you will, or the bigger properties, and ultimately culminate in the solidification of what we perceive to be solid tables, solid arm. We can't put our hand through our arm, and we don't know at what point this matter becomes solidified, because as we look at it through the microscope, we can obviously see that it's not solid and it's moving around. But as it comes, up, and what it is there's a transition in these physics calculations that show us as we basically can start at one dimensionality and then move to two dimensionality and three dimensionality. And as we move toward that, we get into third dimension. And within the third dimension, all of a sudden we come to a solidified state. But it is only an illusion. It's an illusion that we live in that regard. And we are now able to comprehend that when we that there is, from the astrophysical point of view, when I say astrophysical, I mean the large universe perspective and looking downward, we are seeing that there is this transitionary movement through dimensionality, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all the way to a 10th and maybe 11th and multiple dimensions, as substantiated in many of the scientific videos on our site. One of them is the search for Earth-like planets, how large is the universe, mysteries of deep space. And these will give you the background and the understanding of why we humans perceive that we're living in this solidity, when in fact it is just illusory that we live in solidity. And then the other point is that as that matter actually moves through our segment of the third dimension and moves through time, it deteriorates. And everything is getting older, and obviously, and deteriorating and growing mold on things and taking over. And this is nature's way of showing us that time is moving. And so again, I get back to the issue of time displacement, which is so critical in understanding hyper and interdimensional space travel. Okay, now that we've got that conceptualization, we go back to the Nordic alien intelligence. And the Nordic alien intelligence is telling us that we and our chromosomal DNA switch sets can be modified in order to be able to hyper and interdimensionally space travel. So, this will be the conclusion of part 3. I hope you've had a chance to go and take a look at our book, Did God Genetically Modify Us During Creation? And just basically initially understand that there's a timeline involved, and we are starting at 4.55 billion years, the age of the universe and the planets and the Earth, and then the substantiation of that. And next time we're going to get into the time period when the ethereal alien intelligence contacted the Earth and developed the first intelligent civilization that was created and designated by the guardians of Earth, but they were to find physical guardians also 35 million years ago, and these are known as the Watchers. So, stay tuned for part 4. It's going to get more and more exciting. And this will conclude part 3 of Northwest UFO Chasers radio broadcast. Don't forget to visit NorthwestUFOChasers.com.